Today is day 25 of Inktober. Hello, precious friends. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I am an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you're already a friend, thank you for returning. I'll be your guide through the 8 steps of the Magical Zentangle Method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow ourselves down and be present in this moment. It's a practice where we focus on one stroke at a time, and it provides way too many additional benefits to list them here. I will tell you this is a practice that can change your life because it has changed mine. And that's why I say it's magical. I hope you'll consider including a little Zentangle in your routine, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. I am participating in the Inktober challenge this year, and as I said, today is day 25. I've already posted a short video where I talk about its origins. I'll let you know who Jake Parker is and how it became an annual Zentangle challenge. You can find a link to that video at the end here of this one. My approach this year is a little different as I combine 2 Inktober lists. So grab a cup of your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and relax as we draw our 25th Inktober tile. So today we will be using basic supplies, which means white tile, black pen, graphite pencil, and a tortillion. So we are using the Zentangle 3Z tile. This is Zentangle's triangle shaped tile. Each side measures approximately 3.5 inches or 8.89 centimeters. I'm using a Sakura Micron PN pen. I am using a pencil and a tortillion, and like I said, very basic supplies today. Use what you have. You don't have to have the same things I have. This practice is about the journey. So let's go ahead and clear our space as we prepare ourselves to begin with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. In this step, we are going to do some breathing exercises. We are going to do some reflecting and some gratitude searching. So let's begin with a big breath in and a slow breath out. And another big breath in, getting tall as we inhale, and relax as we exhale. And now just let your breath fall into a natural breathing rhythm, and just follow it. Notice it. Pay attention to the breath. And when you're feeling settled, I want you to think of something that you are grateful for, no matter how large or small. And just hold on to that first thing that came to mind. And now pay attention to how you feel. How does it feel to be grateful? And remember this feeling And as we draw today, if you reach a spot where you're just not sure what's next, or maybe your lines aren't going where you want them to, it's okay. Just stop yourself. Take a big breath in and out. Remember this feeling. And then I think you'll be ready to go back to drawing. And that, my friends, is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Step 2 is corner dots. And we simply put a dot in each corner of our tile, and we're using our pencil. Step 3 is a border, and we create our border by connecting the dots. Step 4 is a string, and I'm actually going to skip step 4. I am going to make my tangle the focal point of my tile, and so I'm not going to use a string. Step 5 is the tangles, and before we begin drawing our tangle, let's take a moment and talk about the Inktober challenge prompt and Stephanie's tangle of the day. So Jake's prompt for today is Inferno, and Stephanie's tangle is I-N-G. It's a Zentangle deconstructed tangle. And it's a fun one, but it's one I have to really focus on for some reason. I have a point at the bottom, so the top of my tile is alongside. And I am going to start my tangle with a zigzag line. And I'm going to start short of the top line of my border. So I'm going to start here, and as I go down, I am going to make it bigger, and I am going all the way to the edge of my tile on the bottom. Now the next step for ing is to come from this point at the top down to the center of the line before, and we're going to do that to all of these on this side. And then we're going to do the same thing over here to this side. Okay. Now we're going to draw another triangle, and this time it's going to come from the point down here and go up to the center of that line. So we're starting at the point, going up to the center. The point here is off, but the center is here, so we'll draw that line. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, from the point on the bottom going up to the center of the line above, from the point to the center. And we're just going to assume the center is here. It's a little short, but just to show it on the tangle, or on the tangle. Okay, so yours may look different than mine. That's perfectly fine. I am going to do one more thing to decorate, I guess, if you will, this particular tangle. And on all of these outside triangles, I'm going to draw aura lines. And I'm aura-ing a section in the center, if you will. So I'm aura-ing this line here. And I'm just giving some texture to these spaces some contrast in the tangle by adding these lines. It just gives it a different color. And I think it's a nice addition. But there are so many different ways that you can decorate this tangle, and you can use it as a grid for fragments. So for triangle type fragments, you could put those in there. So we're done drawing ing, and I am now focusing on the prompt of Inferno. And I will say that I could draw a few more of these and just make, assume that they're stylized flames, I suppose. But instead, I'm going to think that maybe this is some sort of a structure or a tower, and it has started to burn, and so we're going to put some flames coming out. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come out from one side and the other, and I'm going to draw a curvy line, bring it to a point, and then aura back around. And I'm just going to do a few of those. So that it kind of looks like a flame coming up. I'm kind of drawing these a little quickly, which is not a problem per se. But what it does do is give me a more whimsical look. So if you wanted to be more focused and go slower, then you could probably have a more even aura on these flames. But I don't mind the whimsical look. You notice I'm drawing behind when I come to some of these other curly things. So I think I'm good. I've got 5 little flame things coming up, and I've kind of filled my space. So I'm going to put my pen away, and we're going to move on to step 6, which is shading. So now I'm picking up my graphite pencil, and we're going to start with our Inktangle. And what we do here is just put graphite on our original zigzag line, and I put it on above that line. And I didn't add any up here, but if you wanted, you could. And then I'm going to put a little bit here where I have these triangles on the side. So where they meet that center, put a little bit there. And then everywhere I have a flame that comes out, I'm putting a little bit of graphite. Everywhere one goes behind, same thing. Turning my tile when I can, so I can see where I'm putting my graphite a little better. I can see those lines. Okay, and then the final thing I think is everywhere on the tip, from the tip around, and this is just to give this some color against the solid background. I'm guessing I'll have plenty on my tortillion when I'm blending that out, but if I need to, I can come back and add some more. So now I'm going to pick up my tortillion, and we're going to start blending. And let's begin with ing, and we will just blend it away from the line. blend out that string line a little bit there, but it's all good. Now I'm going in and I am adding that shading, blending out the rest of it in these side triangles. And I really think that's about all we need for ink. So now let's come in and add our graphite here for our flames. Well, I think I'm pleased with the way this turned out. So I think we're done with step 6, the shading, and we're moving to step 7, which is initial and sign. So I'm going back to my pen and I'm going to put my chop on the front. If you don't have a chop, you can just put your initials. And I'm going to put mine right here in this space here. Then I'm going to flip it over. And we shall sign our work. And date our work. But I always date mine off camera. And then I'm going to make a note that this is for day 25 of Inktober 2025. And step 8 is simply to appreciate again. So this is where we sit back, take a look at what we've drawn, appreciate our fun little piece of art, appreciate the time that we took for ourselves. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you drew along. You know I'd love to see what you drew if you did. And that's really all for today. So until next time, as always, remember to be you and be happy.